a sound till tomorrow.
Accidents don't knock before they arrive. They happen mid-song, mid-solo, mid-everything. And every band on this list learned that the hard way. 10 on-stage accidents. 10 moments nobody planned for. Some of these stories you've already heard, but I promise, not like this. Because the real story isn't what happened, it's what happened right after. Number 10, Syd Barrett / Pink Floyd. What does it look like when someone disappears? Not physically, but completely, mentally, right there on stage, in front of the crowd, in front of their bandmates, while the music is still playing. Because that's what happened to Syd Barrett. And nobody knew how to explain it.
Emily tries, but misunderstands.
It's 1967. Pink Floyd is one of the hottest bands in Britain, and Syd is the one who created it. The songs, the sound, the entire vision. But something is going wrong on stage in ways nobody can predict or account for. Syd walks out and strums a single chord through an entire show, or arrives at the microphone and simply refuses to sing or play at all. The audiences think it's avant-garde. The band knows it's something else. Then the American tour collapses.
Hardly a sound till tomorrow.
He shows up for a TV appearance and gives mute stares when interviewed on The Pat Boone Show. The group's tour was abruptly canceled after he refused to lip-sync on American Bandstand. Not a word, just gone, internally, while the cameras roll. David Gilmour, Syd's old school friend, is brought in as a fifth member to play the part Syd can no longer get through. And for a while, they try. They genuinely try.
Put on a gown that touches the ground.
But on January 20th, 1968, Syd Barrett plays his last show with the band he created in Hastings. And 6 days later, the band is driving to a gig in Southampton. And someone says, "Shall we pick Syd up?" And someone else says, and I've read this 100 times and it still lands differently every time, "Let's not bother."
Emily, there is
No phone call. No conversation, no goodbye, they just stopped picking him up. Richard Wright was living with Syd at the time and had to say things like, "I'm going out to get cigarettes," before slipping off to play a gig. Eventually, Syd worked out what was going on.
Soon after dark, Emily cried.
If you've ever watched someone you care about disappear into something nobody can fix, you know that grief doesn't need a dramatic ending. Sometimes it's just a car that doesn't stop anymore. The Pink Floyd that made Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, Wish You Were Here. That version wouldn't exist without those devastating onstage silences. Number 9, Gene Simmons / Kiss. December 31st, 1973, New York City. Kiss are playing the Academy of Music, opening for Blue Oyster Cult on New Year's Eve. They've got the makeup, they've got the attitude, but they need something that separates them from every other band in every other city. Their manager Bill O'Quan has brought in a magician and taught Gene Simmons how to breathe fire. He tells the band they need to do it on stage. Every other hand goes up to say no. Gene's doesn't. He loads his mouth with kerosene, which is, by any reasonable standard, insane, and walks out in front of a crowd that isn't even there to see them. During Firehouse, Simmons tries his luck at spitting a fireball into the air, but sets locks of his hair alight in the process. And here's the detail that gets me. Gene doesn't even realize his hair is on fire. He's caught up in the audience's reaction. They're going nuts, screaming louder than anything he's heard before, and he is fully, thoroughly on fire. A roadie has to sprint out and smother the flames with his jacket. Simmons finds himself on the floor, stunned, not sure what happened. My hair went up like a fucking matchstick, Simmons recalled, and the fans loved it. The audience had just watched someone nearly burn alive in front of them and keep going, and that reaction told Kiss exactly who they were supposed to be. It definitely wasn't part of the act. But the accident didn't stop Simmons from making it a permanent part of the Kiss Live experience. The audience that night wasn't even there to see them, and they left talking about nothing else. Make it all come true. 'Cause girl, you were... Simmons estimated in a 1999 online chat that he'd already set his own hair aflame 6 or 7 times, and every single time he kept going, because that one accidental blaze on New Year's Eve proved something about this band. They didn't just want to entertain an audience, they wanted to give them something they'd never forget. Funny how that works. The accident doesn't derail you, it tells you exactly what you are. Real talk, only 9% of you are subscribed. That hurts. We're spending hours digging through archives, fact-checking every detail, bringing these stories back to life. And if you're watching this far, you clearly care. So hit subscribe. It's free and takes 2 seconds. Now, to my subscribers, barely any of you have joined the membership. And honestly, that stings even more. You know the work we put in. You keep coming back. If these videos have ever made you feel something, if this music means something to you, join the membership. It's $1 coffee a month, and it's the only way we keep this going. Let's build this together. All right, back to it. Number 8, Pete Townshend / The Who. September 1964, London. The Who, still performing as the High Numbers, arrive at London's Railway Hotel for their Tuesday night residency. The venue has replaced the usual makeshift stage with one that's slightly taller than before. Low ceiling, damp room, smell of sweat and stale beer. Pete Townshend is doing what he always does, hitting his guitar against the amplifiers to create loud, chaotic sounds, hunting for feedback in that aggressive, physical way that was already becoming his signature. Then he thrust the guitar upward. It banged against the ceiling and smashed a hole in the plaster, and the guitar head actually poked through the ceiling. When I brought it out, the top of the neck was left behind. He looks at the ruined guitar, and then he looks at the front row. A few art school students are laughing. They thought it was hilarious that the Flash guitarist had just ruined his most expensive possession. Something shifts in him. He proceeded to make a big thing of breaking the guitar. He bounced all over the stage with it, threw the bits across the stage, picked up his spare, and carried on as though he really had meant to do it. The crowd went quiet, then completely unraveled with excitement. Word spread that the group was a smash-happy bunch. After that, I was into it up to my neck, Townshend told Rolling Stone. And here's what that accident actually created. The Who became the first rock band to perfect the art of destroying instruments as part of their live shows. Rolling Stone later included this moment in their 50 Moments that changed the history of rock and roll. Pete Townshend did not set out to invent a ritual that night. He was embarrassed. He was frustrated. He looked at a crowd laughing at him and he snapped. And that snap, that flash of frustrated rage in a low-ceilinged London pub, became the foundation of an entire identity. And whether that was art or just honest rage going sideways, I'll let you decide. Back to the road. Number 7. Dave Grohl / Foo Fighters. June 12, 2015. Dave Grohl made history when he pushed through a serious injury to finish a Foo Fighters show. The band was playing a show in Gothenburg, Sweden, when the frontman tripped and fell off the stage. Ullevi Stadium, over 50,000 people. They are 2 songs into the set. The second song, Monkey wrench. They're barely warmed up.
Out of the head she sang.
Grohl fell off the stage and broke his leg. I think I just broke my leg, he told the crowd, sounding more amused than hurt. I think I really broke my leg. Look, you have my promise right now that the Foo Fighters are gonna come back and finish the show. But right now, you gotta do something metal. He goes to the hospital. The fracture is confirmed. And here's where most frontmen end the night and apologize to the crowd online. He made good on his promise, soon appearing back on stage in a chair, with a medic physically holding his bandaged leg together. The rest of the band had played Queen's Under Pressure while carrying him back on stage, because of course they did. He returned to play the entire 26-song set, his doctor kneeling next to him, holding his leg together, playing guitar and singing, on a broken leg, for the full show. I may not be able to walk or run, but I can still play guitar and scream. If you've ever kept going when your body was telling you to stop, you already know what shows up in those moments. Grohl used the light-up throne on tour with the Foos for the rest of 2015, having broken his leg in Gothenburg. The accident also resulted in the band pulling out of their Glastonbury headline slot. That still stings. But what Dave Grohl gave 50,000 people in Sweden that night was something different. He showed them what it looks like when someone refuses to leave. He subsequently lent the throne to Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose, who sustained a foot injury in 2016. The throne kept touring long after the broken leg had healed. Number 6. Jim Morrison / The Doors. Early 1969. The Doors are one of the biggest bands in the world. Light My Fire, People Are Strange, Riders on the Storm. The catalog is real, the legacy is real, but Jim Morrison is visibly coming apart, and the people around him can see it with increasing clarity. March 1st, 1969. 10,000 to 12,000 bodies crammed into the Dinner Key Auditorium in Miami, a stifling, oversold space with no air conditioning. Morrison stumbles in hours late after a day-long drinking bender. He walks out and begins performing, and then it unravels. About an hour in, he appeared to be trying to incite a riot within the crowd, shouting, "Let's have a good time. Let's have a revolution. Everybody come up on stage." He taunts people. He shouts profanities. And then, at some point, exactly what happened is still disputed more than 50 years later. The crowd and the police believe Jim Morrison exposes himself. 3 days later, a Miami court issues warrants for his arrest, 1 felony charge of indecent exposure and 5 misdemeanor charges. And here's what one bad night in Miami actually cost the Doors. The entire remainder of the planned tour, over 20 dates, is canceled as a result. City officials across the country begin pulling their shows. Venues won't book them. In September 1970, Morrison is convicted of indecent exposure and profanity, sentenced to 6 months in prison and a $500 fine. He remains free on bond while appealing. He relocates to Paris. He was found dead in a Paris bathtub in 1971 at age 27. His appeal from the Miami charges is still pending when he goes. Florida Governor Charlie Crist later said he doubted Morrison actually exposed himself that night and posthumously pardoned him in 2010, 41 years after the verdict. 39 years after his death, keyboard player Ray Manzarek said it best. It made him realize he was no longer in the graces of the gods, that things could go wrong. A band with decades of music still in them. finished because of one night nobody can fully verify, in a Miami auditorium that doesn't even exist anymore. Number 5, Jimi Hendrix / Monterey.
I'm going on a shoot, my lady.
June 18, 1967, Monterey Pop Festival. Neither Hendrix nor Pete Townshend wanted to follow the other. Both were planning theatrical destructive finales, and neither wanted to go second. The matter was settled over a coin flip. The Who won and went first.
Hey, Joe, where you going with that?
Townshend smashes his guitar. The crowd loses their minds. Now Hendrix is backstage, watching, thinking, and he knows he needs to top it. He also knows something else. He is largely unknown in America at this point. He'd gone to London, arrived virtually unannounced, built a legend across the Atlantic. But over here, in this country, Monterey is the introduction. Hendrix began hunting backstage for lighter fluid. As he later explained, "I decided to destroy my guitar at the end of a song as a sacrifice. You sacrifice things you love." He finished his performance of Wild Thing, doused his 1965 Fender Stratocaster in lighter fluid, and set it on fire. He'd painted that guitar himself in psychedelic flowers using nail polish. Before the lighter fluid, he knelt and kissed it. That detail, the kiss before the fire, that's the part that gets me every time. He rose to his feet, swung the burning instrument wildly, and smashed it against the stage amplifiers. Pieces of the Stratocaster flew into the crowd. With that one move, he made music history, gave rock and roll a new image, and made himself a star. Before Monterey, Jimi Hendrix is building towards something. After Monterey, he's arrived. The burned guitar later sold for more than $380,000 at auction. Some of y'all have that photograph on your wall. You know exactly which one. The sacrifice wasn't just the guitar. It was the last night he was ever unknown in his own country. And that coin flip, that one random decision about who had to go first, set the shape of everything that followed. Number 4, Ozzy Osbourne / The Bat. By January 1982, Ozzy Osbourne has developed an unofficial ritual with his concert crowds. He throws raw meat at the audience, and the audience throws back whatever they can sneak into the venue. Sheep testicles, live snakes, dead rats. Ozzy thinks it's hilarious. It's become part of the show. January 20th, 1982, Veterans Memorial Auditorium, Des Moines, Iowa. A teenager named Mark Neal had found a dead bat outside an elementary school. His friend Carmen talked him into saving it in a freezer for the Ozzy concert. The bat lands on the stage. Bassist Rudy Sarzo spots it and points it out to Ozzy. Ozzy is wearing thick stage contacts. It looks exactly like a rubber prop. The crowd throws stuff at him every night, so he does the obvious thing. He picks it up and bites off its head. My mouth was instantly full of this warm, gloopy liquid, with the worst aftertaste you could ever imagine, he later wrote. Blood, very real. The crowd erupts, not in excitement, but in horror. After the show, hospital, tetanus shot, rabies shot, and then, every single night for the rest of the tour, he had to find a doctor and get more rabies shots. One in each cheek, one in each thigh, one in each arm. Everyone hurt like a bastard. But here's the thing about that bat. It gave Ozzy more press attention than he'd ever received in his life. He went from former Black Sabbath frontman building a solo career to to the man who bit the head off a bat. And after that, people expected things from him that defied basic self-preservation. For the next 4 decades, he rarely let them down. Years later, Ozzy told People magazine, "I know when I eventually do leave this place, it's going to be, the man who bit the head off the bat. He joined the bat today." He said that without a trace of bitterness, he'd made peace with becoming his own accident. Some of y'all know exactly what that means. Number 3. The Rolling Stones / Altamont. 1969 has been an extraordinary year for the Rolling Stones. Their first American tour in years, a triumph. But criticism has followed. Too expensive, too distant from their roots. So the band decides to do something generous, something to give back, a free concert, something people are already calling the American Woodstock. December 6, 1969, Altamont Speedway, Northern California. The Grateful Dead had used Hell's Angels as security at a Bay Area show without incident, and the Stones did the same. The Angels were paid in $500 worth of beer. $500 in beer. To manage a crowd of 300,000 people, when you hear the math like that, you already know how it goes. The problem started during the Stones set. During Under My Thumb, an 18-year-old man named Meredith Hunter approaches the front of the stage with a gun. A Hell's Angel named Alan Pissarro stabs him. Meredith Hunter dies. 3 other people die at Altamont that night. The documentary crew filming the concert captures all of it. Gimme Shelter goes into theaters a year later, and audiences watch the Stones perform on stage, mid-song, unaware, while someone is murdered in front of them. The utopian spirit of an entire decade, on film, ending right there, on a Northern California racetrack. It didn't start as a catastrophe. It started as an act of generosity. The band wanted to give something back. And that's the part that won't let go, that the worst thing that happened came from the best intention. Whether anything could have been done differently, I genuinely don't know. But that question never fully goes away. Number 2, J. James Hetfield / Metallica. August 8, 1992, Olympic Stadium, Montreal. 55,000 people. Metallica and Guns N' Roses, co-headlining the biggest rock tour of the year. Metallica are promoting the Black Album, the record that would turn them into a commercial phenomenon. The production is enormous. So close, no matter how far. Flash pots, pyrotechnic charges, magnesium burning at 3,200 degrees. Everything is dialed in, except for one detail that doesn't get communicated clearly enough. During Fade to Black, Hetfield accidentally stepped into a 3,200-degree magnesium flash due to a miscommunication with the pyrotechnics director. The band's bass tech saw him holding his arm with his skin coming off. Lars Ulrich watches from his drum riser as Hetfield is engulfed. The audience hears a bizarre sound, James's guitar strings melting from the pyro blast. So close, no matter how far. I'm burnt, all my arm, my hand, completely, down to the bone. The side of my face, hair's gone, he recalled. I watched the skin just rising, things going wrong. He suffered deep 2nd-degree burns on the back of his left hand, and 2nd- and 3rd-degree burns on his arms. Doctors cut the remnants of his clothes off and sawed the ring off his left hand. The crowd waited more than 2 hours for Guns N' Roses to take the stage. When they finally did, after a 45-minute set rife with audio issues, frontman Axl Rose shouted, "I'm out," and stormed off stage. What followed was pure chaos. Cars on fire, merch booths ransacked, riot police arriving on buses, $600,000 in damage.
Never cared for what they do.
If you were in Montreal that night, you don't need me to tell you what that felt like. For the rest of the tour, former roadie and metal church guitarist John Marshall filled in on rhythm guitar while Hetfield continued to sing. Hetfield came back. With a bandaged arm he couldn't play. Just singing, just showing up.
Cared for what they know.
And drummer Jason Newsted said years later that the accident saved Metallica, that it was the jolt they needed. Sometimes the worst thing clarifies everything. Sometimes walking directly into the fire, literally, tells you more about who you are than any record could. Number 1. Keith Moon / The Who, The Smothers Brothers. September 17, 1967. The Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. The Who had been ending their live shows by smashing instruments and detonating a small charge in Keith Moon's bass drum. A bit of fire, a bit of smoke, a crowd-pleasing cap to the chaos. Moon was already in the habit of it on the road, but for their Smothers Brothers appearance, he decided to go significantly bigger. While the rest of the band was at lunch, Moon bribed a stagehand. It was 10 times the legal amount of gunpowder you're allowed to use on a soundstage, the director of the Who documentary later confirmed. Keith bribed a stagehand, and I think he got him loaded on some booze. 10 times, on live national television, with a studio audience. Nobody else in the band knows. As the Who's Carnival of Chaos nears its conclusion, boom, Moon's bass drum detonates. White smoke engulfs Townshend and Roger Daltrey instantly. Roger Daltrey practically flies downstage. When Townshend emerges from the smoke, his hair is almost literally blown to one side of his head.
Why don't you all fade away?
Shattered cymbal shrapnel impales Moon's arm. Townshend's hair is on fire. He pats it out with his own hands. Then, running entirely on adrenaline, he grabs Tommy Smothers' guitar from where Tommy is standing, stunned, at the edge of the stage, and smashes it into the floor. John Entwistle, standing at the back the whole time, never flinches. Only bassist John Entwistle never seemed to lose his cool. If you know anything about John Entwistle, that tracks completely. Moon's plan worked. The detonation was absolute gold for the Who's stature in the U.S. All of a sudden, every youth in America wanted to see the Who, Daltrey remembered. The explosion launched them from British band to American phenomenon overnight. But while he was physically undamaged, Moon's detonation had forever damaged Pete's hearing. My hair caught fire, and my hearing was never the same again, Townshend said. I have severe hearing damage. It's manifested itself as tinnitus, ringing in the ears at the frequencies that I play guitar. It hurts, it's painful, and it's frustrating.
Don't try to dig what we all say.
And if you've ever built something that cost you more than you planned to give, created something real, something that mattered, and had to carry what that cost you alongside it, you know there's no clean way to hold both of those things at once. You just carry them, and the music plays on.
Just because we get around.